Hello everybody. Dr. Steve Sabo here. Excited to be with you here today for my free webinar, Video Marketing Training Part 1, How to Get Over Your Fear of Making Videos. We're going to talk about that today. Why do videos? Getting over your fear of videos. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes and see who else is going to join us here. So sit tight and I will be with you guys very shortly. Well, everybody, it's I have 3:01 p.m. Eastern Time here on the East Coast. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get started here today. I want to welcome everybody here to the free webinar, Video Marketing Training Part 1. And before I get started, if you can just, on the right there's a chat box, a question box. Just want to make sure that you all can hear me. You just put a note in the sidebar there. Want to make sure that you all can hear me. Okay, terrific. Let me just get myself set up here. I'm going to turn the screen on in a second. And yeah, I think what I'll do is I will start with the webinar here. Webinar screen, here I am. And again, I want to welcome everybody to this free video training. It's a webinar. I've learned a lot about video in the last year, almost 2 years actually. And I thought what I would do is impart some knowledge on you guys. There is no cost for this webinar. It's a free webinar, and happy to give you some great information. What we're going to do is we're going to have a 3-part webinar series. So I'm going to do 2 more parts to this. Today we're going to talk about why you should do video, why I believe you should do video in 2017 to market your business. And we're going to talk about what I believe is the #1 problem for video marketers or people that get started, and that's fear. Fear is what stops people from doing videos. And we're going to talk a little bit about that fear, why people have that fear, what the fears are, and a little bit about how to overcome them. And I'm guessing this will probably be maybe about a half-hour video webinar on making videos. So we will do that today. Next week we're going to talk a little bit about how to make videos, how to construct them, how to put them together, what you should say in these videos. And then the final week, I know part of that, what we're going to do is I do want to talk about equipment. And you don't, by the way, you don't need expensive equipment to do videos. You just need this thing right over here, your iPhone or your Android. That's really all you need to make videos these days. So I am going to get started. Let me just pull up. I'm going to just minimize this screen here. And let's get started. So the title of this talk is Video Marketing Training Part 1, How to Get Over Your Fear of Making Videos. And we're going to get to the crux to this in a couple of minutes. I thought what I would do first is just share my screen here and just tell you a little bit about who I am, why I'm here, and in case you can't tell, why I'm so passionate about home business and social media marketing, and in specific, why I'm so passionate and just love video marketing. So my name is Dr. Steve Sabo, and that's because I'm a medical doctor. I'm actually an emergency medical doctor. I live here in New Jersey. Grew up in a place called Lakewood. That's down at the shore, which we would say down here the Jersey Shore or Jersey Shore. And that town is about 60 miles from New York City. I now live in northern New Jersey, not even 20 miles from New York City. It takes, without traffic, we have to say that around here, maybe about 20 minutes to get into New York City. So congested area, but exciting to be near New York City. And I went to medical school, interestingly enough. I started out in France. For those of you who speak French, je parle français. And I finished medical school in Chicago. I've been an emergency doctor, a practicing emergency doctor, since 1995. So it's going on 23 years. I am happily married. In fact, this year, my wife and I celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary. And we have two wonderful teenage daughters. We have one who's in college, another one finishing up in high school and will be entering college soon too. And you know what I realized all these years? I just frankly just spent too much time away from my family. I don't know how many of you feel that way, but I just spend too much time away from my family. So what I did is, hang on a second, is I entered the home business industry, an industry that I absolutely love. I started getting involved in health-related businesses. I have a direct sales business with a non-invasive medical device, and I have a multi-level marketing business in the health and wellness field with health and wellness products. But you know what I realized? I realized that business could be done on the internet, but that most people weren't doing the business well. They just weren't marketing themselves properly online. And these slides here are actually from a presentation that I gave recently called, in fact, I gave it last week. It's down there, 3 Simple Steps to Attract Your Perfect Prospects Without Bugging Family, and so on. And in that, I talked about how you should market yourself on social media. We're not going to talk about that today, but I think of one of the great ways of doing marketing on social media is by using video, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Personal development. Guys, I love personal development. You know, I tell people I'm the same person I was when I grew up. I'm a humble guy and a fun-loving guy. But I'm also not the same person. Since I started doing personal development, I've grown tremendously over the last number of years that I've been in the home business industry. And I not only do 30 minutes of personal development every evening, but I recommend that for everybody as well. So as I said before, I learned how to use social media to grow my businesses. I have my Instagram account. I took a course, briefly, I took a course in Instagram from my social media company. I grew my account. It started at about 200, which was family and friends, and I grew that following to over 12,000. I have a Facebook fan page. Again, they're both, just as my name says, Dr. Steve Sabo, and the fan page is over 6,000 now, and with that I actually use Facebook ads for that. I'm also proud that I developed an ebook, How Anybody Can Get 5 or More Leads a Day on Instagram in Just Under 30 Minutes. I've put that on an ad that I have running since January on Facebook, on Instagram, and that has generated me, guys, a whopping, it's hard for me to believe, but over 3,000 now 100 leads from that ad, that video that I put together just back in January. Over 3,000 leads. And it has vaulted me to the leaderboards in my company. My social media marketing company. I'm on the leaderboards there for lead generation. So that's just a little bit about myself. As I said, I'm passionate about each of my businesses. And just a little bit more, I do have over 250. Actually, I now have, I think this week is hitting, or next week will be 300 videos on YouTube. Again, if you want to find me, it's Dr. Steve Sabo, my YouTube channel. And this is what I just told you here about being on the leaderboard. So let me minimize this, and let's get started about video marketing and why video marketing. So I didn't put any fancy slides together, guys. I thought this would just be a nice impromptu talk here. Again, video marketing, how to get over your fear of making videos. So my first question to you is, why should you do video? Why do video? Well, this is a quote here that, and by the way, those of you who don't know me, I'm kind of the quote guy. I put 2 or 3 quotes a day, every day for at least a year and a half now, because I believe that they're inspirational, they're success-driven quotes. And this is really one of my favorites, and that's, people do business with people they know, love, and trust. And it's no more evident here with videos, because videos create a bond with people. And it's a great way to connect with others that can't be done any other way. And it's a great way to share value. You see, also the videos you put out there, they can be seen 24 hours a day. So I have my videos on my YouTube channel. I have them on Facebook, fan page, and Instagram. And they're videos that can be accessed at any time. I don't have just the video on my computer, but it's out there on social media. It's out there on my website for people to see. What I do there is I share value, and it lets other people get to know you. And, of course, it lets you to tell your story like no other way. We're going to talk about that in a little while, about how to get over your fear of doing videos and what I suggest for your first video about telling your story. But let's just go back a little bit about sharing value. Now, myself here, what I do on my accounts, on my blog, is I share value. What I do is I help home business owners get more leads and sales. And I do that through posting value. I always talk about adding value to people. What do home business owners struggle with? They struggle with sales, with money. And how can I help them with that? I can do that by providing value. And I provide, in my videos, I provide teaching videos. I have videos about marketing, online and offline, prospecting, closing. I've done some movie reviews. I did one on the movie Founder, which was about Ray Kroc. I thought that was a terrific one for entrepreneurs out there. Lots of different types of videos that provide value to my target market. Now, if you're not in that market, say you're in the weight loss business, you have a weight loss product out there, what would be some good value videos to do? Well, I would think recipes, healthy recipes. What I would suggest is you put recipes out there that are healthy. And you guys have seen my other webinars, have seen some of those videos. So you can post a picture on Instagram of the recipe. You could post a video of you in the kitchen making that recipe. Another post of value would be a video for a weight loss company, would be a video that shows you doing some type of exercises that would help people lose weight. So it's a great way to share value, okay? And can't be done any other way. They get to know you while you're doing the videos and allows you to become an authority. Again, let's reference back to number 1. People do business with people they know, love, and trust. So you do a video, people get to know you. Then they get to love you, then they trust you, then they see you as an authority, and then finally they may buy from you afterward. That's kind of the sequence of what all of this is about. Okay? People do business with people they know, love, and trust. So that's why do video. Now let me give you some statistics. There's actually some great statistics that I found out here. Here's one. Online video is over 6 times more effective than print or online. Think about that for a minute. It's estimated that 69% of traffic online will be done via videos. 69%, guys. Fascinating. Purchases. So take a look at this. 96% of people use videos to help make purchases. You want to find something out about, I'm looking at the new lights that I have for my system over here, my lighting system. What did I do to do that? Before I bought that, I went online. I looked at videos about what were the best lighting systems for what I needed here in my studio, in my office. I took a look at that, and 73% of people, I want you to think of that, they're more likely to make a purchase after viewing a video, like a how-to video on YouTube. All right, so how to find the perfect light for your studio. You look that up and you find videos on lighting systems. I'm just giving an example here. You can do that for anything. And I know a lot of people who use YouTube before they make a purchase. Here's another great statistic. Videos on landing pages lead to 80% conversion rates. So you make a video, you have a call to action, and again, we're going to talk about calls to action next week as we talk about what are the elements for making a good video. 4 elements. We'll talk about that next week, but one of them is a call to action. And so if you have on your landing page a video has a call to action, according to this statistic, 80% of those who watch that video will be converted into a lead, a sale, etc. YouTube has over 1 billion visitors a month because people love video. They want to watch video. So that's a little bit about why you should do video, some statistics of why video is so important these days. And now what I'm going to do is talk about fear of making videos. And, you know, it's a real, I guess, problem, is that the word? It's a real issue with people on making videos. A lot of people, most people don't make videos for what we're talking about here. But I think if you can get over that hump, get over your fear of making videos, you can be really effective. And after we talk about these fears, I've got a treat for you here. I'm going to show you the first video that I did back in December of 2015. Not the whole video. It's a 3-minute video. I'll just show you the beginning because I do want to point out how I looked when I was nervous, when I didn't have the light shining on me, in a dark office, and right in the room actually that I'm sitting at right now. So, fear of making videos. Why are people fearful? Why are they fearful? Well, the first thing is that people are self-conscious. Doubt comes into play. And there are many reasons for this, why people have self-conscious and are self-conscious and doubt. They don't like the way they look. They don't think that they look good for the video. They doubt that they can do it. They see people making perfect videos out there and they say, oh, I can't do that. And I say, yes, you can. I say whether it's fear of, and we'll talk about different fears, but I always like to go back to fear of the phone. When I started in the home business industry and I picked up the phone and I just stared at it and I couldn't make that phone call. Obviously, you can't be in a home business if you can't talk to people. You can't talk on the phone. But how do you get over it? You face your fears and you get over your fears. So, as I said here, you must overcome your fear. And the solution here is to just do it. And what I say is just pull out your phone and record a 1-minute video. You may want to Just talk about why you started to do your business, why you did this in the beginning. Pull it out, just do a 1-minute video. And listen, you don't even have to post it. Just so you do it and you got that first one out of your way. I can't tell you what a relief it was when I did my first video. I want to tell you just a quick story about a woman I met. You know, I'm do social media marketing, and there's a company that I'm with, MLSP, that helps marketers with whatever business they're in, home business or small business, and we help people in many different ways, but market themselves on social media and teach people how to add value and this type of stuff. So I'm at the convention back in August, and I meet somebody, and she's telling me how she likes my videos, she follows me, and I said, so are you doing video? She said, no, I've wanted to, but I just never got started. So I said, so let me turn this on. So what I did is I said, here, take the phone out. Take the phone out and give it to me. Turn the camera on. So I had her turn the camera on. She's like, but why? I said, because you're going to do a video right now. No better time than the present. And she said, nah, I'll do it another time. I said, isn't that what you've been telling yourself? She said, well, yes. Yes, it is. So what I did is I had her give me the phone. She gave me the phone, and I said, what do you want to talk about? So she thought for a few minutes about what she wanted to talk about, and she pulled out, she gave me the phone. I'm sorry. She gave me the phone, and lo and behold, I pressed the record button. Hold on a sec. She pulled out the phone, and I just started recording. And you know what? She made a video. I stopped the recording, and I said, there you go. The next one is not going to be that difficult. And you know what? From experience, it's not that difficult, the next one. And let me just minimize this right now. I'm going to show you that video in just about a minute. Just a little bit more of getting over your fear. It's step out of your comfort zone. Like anything else, like whether it's like I just described, my fear of picking up the phone and talking to people, fear of making videos. You know, it's all about stepping out of your comfort zone. And for most people, face it, home business or small business is outside your comfort zone for most people. It's doing something different, doing something new, becoming an entrepreneur. And here's another one here. Don't worry about what other people think. You know, we call these people dream stealers. Whether it's relatives, and there's plenty relatives that I know that, you know, that poo-pooed these businesses I'm doing. They said, you're a doctor, you've been a doctor for 23 years. Why would you want to do anything else? This one in the family or that one in the family has been doing it, and it's fine for them. So don't worry about what other people think. What other people think, whether it's videos, whether it's your home business, or anything for that matter. And anyway, we call them dream stealers. So I think what I'm going to do, yes, what I'd like to do now is I'm going to pull up this video, and I want to show you guys just what it looked like. So this is my first video, and let me bring it back to the beginning here. This is my first video from December of 2015, okay? As you can see by the view, it was an iPhone, and it was down, leaning against the computer in the front. So I'm really in just about the same position that I was back then at the desk. Obviously, you'll see that the lighting wasn't good, the sound wasn't great, and the main thing I want you to get out of this was not that you need expensive equipment, because you don't, was the passion and the excitement and the getting past the nerves thing was not there in this video. So let me just play a little of the video, and then we'll talk some more. Hello, everybody. My name is Steve Sabo, and I'm excited to be here with you. Just wanted to let you know a little bit about myself. I'm going to be doing a series of videos here. My name is Dr. Steve Sabo, and I work full-time as an emergency doctor. I also help people with weight loss, and I help people market themselves online, that is, small businesses and multi-level marketers. What I wanted to talk about today in this first session is gratitude. How many of you regularly express gratitude to people? The reason I chose this subject was because last night my teenage daughter was involved in a motor vehicle accident. Thank goodness she is fine. But it got me the chance to work and see the teamwork of the emergency personnel, the ambulance corps, and then the people in the emergency department where they took her, the doctors, the nurses, the techs. Okay, so I'm gonna stop that video now. So I think, and let me just bring it back up here again. Like I said, what the takeaway from this is that anyone starts from somewhere. And if you keep doing the same thing over and over, talking on the phone, making videos, you get better than what I did over here. I mean, now I get, I was nervous making webinars at first. But you know what? I realized it's the same as doing videos. Been there, done that. I've been making videos for almost 2 years now. It's, right now it's October of 17. I started doing this in December of 15. So this December will be 2 years that I'm making videos. So I'm much more comfortable speaking. I do my team calls for my my home business, and so eventually, I'm going to get even better than I am right now. So the point is, no matter what you look like on this first video, what that woman at my convention looked like when I just whipped out her phone and started recording her, whatever she looked at, excuse me, whatever she looked like, she's going to look better now than she did back then. And after you do your first video, guess what you can say? You can say, whew, I've been there, done that. I've done a video already. You know what? It wasn't so bad. Now I'm looking at this after almost 300 videos later, and I'm thinking, wow, did I, have some problems? I also don't use the hand gestures anymore. But you're going to get better. You're going to get better. And that's the point of what I wanted to show you on that video. So let me move on here. Okay, we've got a little more to go, and we should wrap it up probably in about the next 10 minutes or so. So now what I want to talk about is how to get over your fears. Okay? Expect that there will be negative, unfortunately negative, and crude comments. Even the best video marketers get them. I have a coach for my video marketing, and he's a great guy. He's a great leader, and he's a great video marketer. And guess what? He gets negative, crude comments. I mean, I've gotten them, and I haven't done, half the number of videos as this guy has. And I don't really save my comments like that. He saved them, and he produced them. And there's curse words in them and just downright nasty stuff in them. So what I say to you is there's going to be stuff like that. Just get over it. You're going to get mostly positive comments, and don't worry about them. I mean, I don't even worry about them because I know people are watching me. People watch my videos. They like my videos. And that's most of the people. So if there's a few people that are negative, big deal. I work as an emergency doctor, and I know I'm a good doctor. I know that, most people like me, but I know that there are some negative people there, and they, they have these surveys that you get when you're seen in the emergency department to rate everything, including the doctor. And I know that sometimes I'm not going to get a good survey. But my point is to just move on. There's always going to be negative people out there. And again, as I said, realize that most comments will be positive. So now I want to talk about self-doubt. A lot of people have self-doubt about doing videos, and the reason they have self-doubt is because they think, oh, I'm not going to look good. I don't look good on camera. The lighting is terrible. I don't sound good on camera. I can't do it. I've never done, whatever it is. Here's 7 steps to try to overcome that. First step is to recognize that you have an issue with self-doubt. I think it's recognizing that you have a problem, as they say. And that's true with almost anything. The first thing you have to do in order to overcome something is realize that you have a problem. And then number two is that you should analyze it. Okay? Analyze where it came from. Identify the source of the self-doubt. You should write it down. And then I want you to look and see if there's a pattern. Look at the actions that you're taking and see if some of this is contributing to your self-doubt. And then what you should do is design a plan to overcome it. Maybe by doing some personal development, moving yourself forward in order to do that. Learning about videos, just like you're doing right here. Maybe this is part of your plan to overcome self-doubt for videos, is watching this video. You should anticipate the challenges that you have while you're getting better at this and trying to solve the issue you have with self-doubt. You should anticipate challenges that you may have. And of course, like any type of problem, just to overcome it is to take massive action. I did that with videos. I just kept making videos, and getting better. Same thing with talking on the phone. I don't stare at the phone for 5 minutes anymore. Can you imagine what type of business I would have if I did? You talk on the phone, you overcome your fear, same type of thing. Here's a key thing. You need to believe that you have value to give. And believe me, you have value to give. Okay? We're going to talk next week in part 2 about the components of a good video and how to make a video. And I'm not talking about getting a videographer, but what are the elements of a good video? We're going to talk about that next week. And then, by the way, the third week, we're going to talk a little bit about some necessary or suggested equipment if you want to buy some stuff, to making videos. And again, you don't have to do that. All you need is the iPhone. Like you saw, I just put it in front of the computer and I just started recording. So believe you have value to give, okay? And like I said here, you know more than you realize that is valuable to others. You don't have to be an expert in order to impart your information to people. Again, we're going to talk about information that you have, but you may not realize it. And this is stuff that you can use to make a video. All right? As I said, we'll talk about that in part 2 of the webinar. ILT, we're going to talk about this next week too. It's Invest, Learn, and Teach. Invest in a course, or invest in this course, for example. Learn what I'm talking about here, and then teach it to people. Do a video about fear of video, maybe about your fear, how you overcame your fear of making a video. There's a video you could do. Okay? Invest on something, learn about it, and then teach it to others. So now I want to talk about, as I wrap it up, it's the last topic here. It's going to kind of be a short webinar today, and afterward we're done, I'm going to take some questions. You need to face your fears. So important to face your fears. You know, again, I love quotes, and this is a great quote. You know, successful people face their fears, and what do? Do they run away? No, they do it anyway. Like I said, like Nike says, just do it. And here, successful people have fears too. It's so true. As I said, I was afraid of my first videos. I was afraid of talking on the phone. You know, once you face your fears, you get over talking on the phone, you do your first video, you're going to feel liberated. I'm telling you, you're going to feel liberated. So let's move on here. Let me just lower this. Yeah, I'm sorry. So that actually is it for getting over your fear of videos. I thought we had more. No, that is actually it. Before I take questions, I see there's a bunch of people on, and I do want to get to the questions. Again, next week, I will decide this weekend the time of the webinar. For those of you in the UK that are on this, I chose this time so you guys could get on. I think I'm probably going to have to do it a little later in the day, just because I've got a bunch of shifts in the emergency department next week, and Wednesday or Thursday day probably won't work, but I will decide that this weekend. Again, part 2 next week will be on how to compose a video and how to get information to use for videos, which is so important. So what I want to do now is I want to take any questions. There's a chat box, guys, on the side there. And what you guys can do is just put your question in the chat box, or in the question box, I should say. And just let me know if you have any questions here. We have a question on my contact information. Sure. As I mentioned before, if you are interested in getting the free Instagram training, it's freeinstaleads.net. Freeinstaleads.net. That's the free Instagram training. If you want to check out either my website or my Instagram or my Facebook fan page, it's Dr. Steve Szabo. And if you look that up on YouTube, you will find all of my videos are there. Again, they're all helpful videos for the home business industry. And looks like we have another question here. And the question here is, did you always want to do videos? You know, it's a really good question. When I was really young, I always liked to just kind of make fake videos, not even recorded videos. What I used to do, it's kind of interesting, is I always loved sports. And what I would do is I would pretend I was a sports announcer. And so making videos these days is probably a result of from back when I was pretending to be a sports announcer. So let me turn the screen back on, and I guess that's it, guys. Unless there's any more questions, I want to just take a quick look here. No, that's it. All right, all of you that registered or on the seminar, I'm going to send out the link for the video that we just did here tonight. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be available tomorrow. And for those of you who didn't get on the webinar, you'll also get a chance to take a look at this video as well. So I'm going to sign off for now until next week, part 2 of the video series, Instagram video training series, part 2 next week. Hope you all got value. And if you did, check out my website. It's drsteveszabo.com. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.